Hi everyone, today we will cover another topic related to GBBR replicas. In today's material, we will examine the effect of the gas used and the weight of the BBS on the energy of our replica. Many people use GBBRs all year round. We use them freezing in the snow and sweating in the summer sun. Therefore, you most likely use or have seen higher pressure gases than green gas in stores. We usually use these types of gases on colder days to compensate for the drop in temperature and resulting pressure of green gas in a magazine. But what if we use them on a warm day? The mass of the BBS used also affects the energy. We can observe many times that as the mass of the BBS increases, the energy increases despite no change in the rest of the replica's parameters, the so-called Joule creep. Today we will answer the question, how does the energy of our replica change depending on the gas used and the mass of BBS?
So you do have a plan. Yeah, Mr. White! Yes, science!
The material is intended to introduce the topic and covers it only partially. We want to build players' awareness of the equipment and warn of possible unpleasantness. At the same time, we do not encourage the use of these methods for foul play.
Let's move on to the experiment. Before, we will introduce the setup and assumptions of the experiment. For today's test, we prepared two types of gas, black gas by Nimrod and green gas by We. The parameters can be found on the screen. During the test, we will use two sets of magazines, PMAG from T8 Company for MWS replicas and MP7 from Tokyo Marui. All magazines are in identical factory configurations. We will use 0.2 grams PJ and 0.45 grams Specno Arms BBS. We will measure the energy with an X350 chronometer from X-Gore-Tech. To compare the results for different inner barrel lengths, we have prepared 3 replicas today. The representative of short-barreled replicas will be the MP7 from Tokyo Marui. The configuration is fully factory-made. A longer barrel can be found in the MK18 from CYMA. It features a factory 250mm barrel. That is, the length of stock MWS replicas. The longest is the well-known M for Tokyo Marui in DMR configuration. A 470mm inner barrel has been installed. The energy of each replica will be tested in the 4 configurations shown on the screen. The results will then be compared to determine the largest and smallest differences in the energy of the replicas. Let's start the experiment. First, we will measure the energy of all replicas with 0.2 grams BBS. Then we will move on to BBS 0.45 grams. During the measurements, the magazines will not be refilled with gas, so we can expect a small drop in energy at the end of the experiment.
Spróbujemy. Tak. Uwaga. No. I.
During today's tests, we focused on observing changes in the energy of the BBS when changing to parameters, the type of gas and the mass of the BBS. We put the collected results in a table visible on the screen. Now let's turn to a graphical representation and discussion of the results. We averaged the energy from each measurement series and put them in the table visible on the screen. The first noticeable thing is the energy differences between the black and green gas. Given that their pressures are extremely different, this result was expected. In addition, we can see that this difference increases with the length of the barrel. For the MP7, these are insignificant differences, while for the M4 the difference is pronounced. In the second chart, we have shown the differences between the cases where different types of gas are used. We see a clear increase between 145 and 250 and a slowdown between 250 and 470. In addition, the energy gain increases with the mass of the BBS, which can be seen in the graph. The second issue is the change in energy on the same type of gas but with a change in the mass of BBS. The graph on the right shows the energy changes for all variants. As we can see, the differences in energy between BBS 0.2 and 0.45 are quite significant. Again, the difference increases with the length of the barrel and is greater for higher pressure gas. The last graph for today shows the maximum differences we got for each type of replica. The record holder in this category is again the M for receiving more than 1 joule of energy after changing the weight of the BBS and the gas. This material was created primarily for new GBBR users and for people who do not deal with GBBR replicas daily. First of all, to raise awareness on possible sources of change in the energy of the replica. Changing the temperature, the type of gas used and the weight of the BBS, the parts in the replica, affect the energy generated. Therefore, it is worth checking this before the game to avoid unpleasant or dangerous situations. In addition, it used to be a popular method of measuring the energy of a replica to measure the velocity of 0.2 grams BBS. As we have seen, the differences between energies can be quite large. This makes this method defective and can pose a danger to players. Now, fortunately, more and more people are introducing energy measurement on target BBS. In conclusion, even though summer is going on and it's getting warmer, there are still many people using stocks of, for example, black gas bought for the winter. If this is the case, we encourage you to check whether the replica you are using is still within local limits. Stay safe and until next time.